Hey friends, welcome to Andy's Audio Crap, where we talk about older audio stuff, thus audio crap. Most of it's really not crap. Actually, this one is absolutely not crap. This is a Rotel RSX-1055. You can get these fairly inexpensive for a Rotel. And for the beast that this thing is, they are steal of a deal if you're after music or 5.1. They're late 90s, early 2000s, absolutely to die for good sound. There's a lot of different opinions about them online. My opinion is it sounds awesome when paired with a really good pair of speakers, such as some Paradigms or Bostons. I had them with a pair of Klipsch for a while, and I also had them, gosh, what else? Infinities. And these aren't like 80s, 90s speakers. These are more modern speakers. Good sounding speakers. Keepers, if you will. Also had them with a pair of Cornwalls for a while, and that was a really good pair for music. This thing actually throws some pretty good sound. All right, so the elephant in the room with this particular amplifier is that it requires the TV to do setup. And mainly what you're worried about is your mapping, your listening, which are your top row here, to your input, which is on the back. And you can assign CD to anything that you want. And this is a generic remote that you can pick up on Amazon, eBay, or OfferUp, whatever it is that you're shopping on. They're like 10 bucks, and they come pre-programmed. So it's just like you get it, put batteries in it, and you're off and rolling. So if I just hit the arrow down button, then I can toggle through optical 2, optical coaxial, optical analog. Okay. So we're going to leave it on analog because that's where we're going to listen when we're doing the sound review at the end of this video. For now, we're just going to go through all of the options that it has. From an input standpoint, it has tuners built in. You do have an FM loop, AM loop on the back you can plug into it. It does have tape, so it's old enough to actually have tape. And then you've got all of these videos off to the right-hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to use these as a video only. You can throw whatever the hell you want to in there. You can have phono 1 through 5. You just have to have preamps. That's another thing this doesn't have, is a phono preamp built in. Rotel has some really good phono preamps too in their older models, and I think with their newer models they're starting to bring that back. So you can either, so I'm using the remote here, so I've toggled up to the listen, and I can toggle through those here by just come on buddy. Oh gosh, I went to the main menu. I can toggle through them here, or I can toggle through them here, and since I couldn't quickly find the button to do that, you can see my mappings here. So I have video 4 to coaxial 1, video 5 to optical 2. It's just really kind of a pain in the butt that you can't do that from here, and maybe somebody has figured out how to do it from here. Anyway, so we're going to go to CD, and you'll see on CD the surround mode, which are all of these buttons down here, or these first buttons right here, is set there. So I can change that. So I can change it to I can change it to Dolby, PL2 music, and DTS music. And I tell you what, these are really killer good. They sound excellent when you do have a 5-channel setup, when you have 5 speakers set up. So let's go back up here to stereo, and then let's go back up to the exit in the menu here. Menu, or maybe it's menu, middle system. Okay, so it does have all of these other settings that you can do here. When I got it, it was dead in the water. I had to wait for a remote because somebody had turned all the speakers off. the last person, maybe it was a factory reset or something, but you can go down here to tone, and you'll see where I have it set up, and that's where I liked it. So going back to other, God knows all this good stuff here. It's just got so many dang options that I can't even begin to go through them all here. The main purpose of this review is to say, hey, go out and get one of these. Go out and get a $10 remote, and you've got yourself an absolutely killer stereo if you're listening to music. So let's take a look at the back. All right, here is the back of the 1055 Beast. All right, first of all, it is only 5 out, right? So you have your center, your rear, and your front, and you're not going to be running 7.9.1s. You're not going to be running Atmos. So what I had used this for was 5, and I ran it from the optical in my TV, and the encoder, everything worked great. It worked wonderfully. If I hadn't have upgraded to a Marantz or got a good deal on a Marantz, it would still be in play. I love this thing. And it's a beast. It's huge. It's heavy. It's very powerful. For music, honestly, this thing is awesome. But to get it to work with modern movies or, you know, a theater room setup, it's a little bit of a struggle because you've got to have the right TV, you got to have the right everything, and you got to be okay with, you know, 5.1 and but outside of that, it's really, really, really good. And for music, it's to die for good. And so what I would do is I would just run my CD player right into CD or one of the digital ends. And honestly, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So let's go on. Let's go and listen to it. All right. Done with the nuances of what it is, what it looks like, all of that good stuff. How does it sound? So my setup here is a Tascam. Anyways, it's a CD player. It's a fairly good CD player, actually. And then we have the Rotel, right? Of course. And then some EPI T/E100 Series 2. Now, these aren't like a particularly great set of speakers. The tweeter is to die for good in these. And then it has an upgraded woofer, trying to make them sound a little bit better. They sound okay. They're okay. But let's see how well it does with the Rotel. Okay. Got that done. Got that down. All right, let's change it over from analog. So this has digital out as well. So we're going to change it to a digital out. It's changing the mapping. You can tell a little bit of difference in the sound. Let's give it a listen on maybe a couple of other songs here. Here's some rock. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Okay, this one's a good song. I like this one. This is really good for morning reviews. Everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's Okay, so without being able to set this side by side with some others, I'll just give you my opinion on how it sounds. It's got a little bit, it's a lot better than like a Denon or an Onkyo or a Yamaha, Sony. It's better than those. It's got a more rich, deep depth to the sound that it can make a pair of crap speakers sound pretty darn good. The flip side, of course, is that, you know, when you start talking about like your vintage Marantz, your vintage Yamaha, your vintage this, vintage that, the old silver faces, it doesn't sound like those. It's got a different, more modern sound to it. As far as like the newest Rotels that are out there, the ones that I've heard, it sounds very similar to those. They didn't change the sound too much between this time period and, you know, the most modern, latest, greatest that you can get. So in my opinion, big thumbs up, big steal of a deal. Go out and get you one, hold on to it. I'll put money on in 10 years. People will be clamoring for these because they will have realized what kind of deal they are. So I think you can pick one up for like $250 now, and I'll guarantee here in a couple of years they'll still be $250 or higher because people will have found them. So we're in that weird lull. I'm gonna go out with that. Like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. You show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it.